What's going on? Great morning, great morning. I had requests for people to show them how I made the beach tumbler. And Shayla wants one. I'm making hers right now. My tripod broke, so I went and borrowed my son's. Let's see how it holds up. So right now I am just mixing the epoxy. If you're just jumping on, we are doing a beach tumbler, okay? I have so much fun making these. I really do. So I think I'm gonna do about 12.5 mLs of epoxy A and 12.5 B, okay? So right now we're just mixing the epoxy, and I'll show you the other stuff as well. We're gonna see how this tripod holds up, because mine broke, right? So it's time to order a new one. So, let me move the camera. All right, so obviously I painted it first, just took some spray paint. I ran out of white. I usually prime it, but I had this blue, and since I'm doing a beach one, and it's pretty much gonna be the color of the sky, you know, the sky, so I just painted it with blue, okay? And then for the sand, I did the glitter. Now you could do that two different ways. You could do the Mod Podge way, but since I didn't have time for that to all dry and stuff right now, I went ahead and just sprayed it with acrylic clear sealer and then sprinkled my glitter on. So it's ready. So now I'm just gonna mix the epoxy. And when you're mixing your, sorry, someone keeps calling, it keeps throwing me off. So when you're mixing your epoxy, you gotta make sure it's 1 part of A and 1 part of B, okay? And you trust me when I tell you this, you don't wanna get this stuff on your hands. So we're going to mix those. And what you're gonna need is you're gonna need cups, you're gonna need a condiment cup, you're gonna need little cups, you're gonna need your paints. For the sky, we're using this. It is called Morning Blue. And then we're also gonna have this for the waves, white for the clouds, and the waves as well too. So you're going to need those. So when you mix your epoxy, I know sometimes we're impatient, we wanna get things done, and we wanna go to mixing like crazy and mix it super fast, but you don't wanna do that, and you just wanna mix it nice and slowly until it clears up and has a good mix for about 60 seconds, depending on your batch. Sometimes you might have to do it for 2 minutes. So you're gonna mix it for 1 to 2 minutes. And then we're gonna pour it in 3 different cups, right? Because we're gonna add the colors in those, okay? And you're gonna have extra popsicle sticks because you want one for each color, right? So we're just mixing the epoxy. I really had fun. The first time I made this, I mean, guys, it's really super simple, okay? And I recommend getting a I mean, I don't know any other way around it, but you have to have a tumbler machine. So I bought one off Etsy for like 35 bucks, right? And then once you get the beach set, then you can add whatever kind of vinyls that you want to add. Maybe you want to add a beach stain, maybe you want to add someone's name, seashells, flip-flops, surfboard, palm trees, you know, anything beachy. Anything beachy. Okay. So now I got the epoxy mix. Now, you're obviously going to be using more of this because you're going to paint the entire tumbler with that as well too. Oh, hold on. I have these smart plugs, and so I gotta see. Hold on. I forgot. There we go. Okay. Because I usually use an app to turn them on. So I had to make sure that I could turn them on over there real quick. So obviously, I'm going to want more of this, right? Because these are going to be the waves in the sky. So you don't need a whole bunch. Now I got about 24 mLs of epoxy. So I'm probably going to use about, I think 15 we're going to do for the sky. That should be a good... This is a smaller tumbler too. This is actually the 20 ounce. So obviously if you're doing a bigger one, you're going to need more epoxy. Trying to get this done before the weather looks like it is about to storm here. We have had rain, rain, rain in Florida. Also, when you paint it on, guys, you are going to want to do this. And actually, I use the acrylic paint epoxy method to, if you all saw my Gator tumbler, that's how I did that tumbler. I love mixing the acrylic paint in the epoxy now. You're also going to want a heat gun as well, too. My daughter just cleaned my craft table, so she's got me all discombobulated, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead, and you're just going to put a few drops in there, okay? You really don't need a whole bunch. And then you just mix it up until it's all mixed nicely. Hey, Aunt Jen, yes, my favorite aunt. She got her tumbler for Mother's Day. She's a PA, so I put, I'm not a magician, I'm a physician's assistant. And then she liked the beach one, but maybe she'll get that next time. All right, so that's mixed, right? We got the sky ready. Now we're gonna mix the other colors. And I mean, if you find a color is maybe too dark for you, for what you're trying to do, then just take some white and mix it in, right? All right, now we're gonna do the white. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. We're gonna get to painting here in a minute, and I found my heat gun. Let me grab that for y'all. Whoa, where's she got me at? So, this little thing, okay? When you get bubbles in your cups when you're epoxying, this is a lifesaver. Let me tell you what, the first beach tumbler I did, I got a big old bubble, and I was like, oh Lord, help me. And I had one of those because it was in the tutorial that I had watched, so I made sure I had everything just in case. And it actually ended up smoothing the wave out a little bit better, that it actually made it look even better, right? So, I mean, you can go over that if you want to help fix your wave. So now, remember, we don't want to get epoxy on our hands, guys. It's no fun. Trust me, when I first started working with epoxy, I didn't think it was a big deal. Oh, it's a big deal. Don't get that stuff on your hand. And if you use any kind of brush, use a silicone brush and then clean it with alcohol afterwards, okay? Let me see. I got the sun shining. Can you guys see? I think you guys can see the tumbler. Yeah, looks like you can. Trying to beat the sun back here, right? And of course I have my drip tray underneath, okay? And now we're just gonna go ahead and obviously not go over the glitter. And you're just going to keep pouring this on. And see, you have to have a tumbler for this, because it's going to have to continue to turn, right? Especially when we get to the waves, you'll see more of what I'm talking about. Now, if something happens and you do get it on the glitter like I had before, all you have to do is go ahead and go over the glitter at the very end, okay? So we're just continuing to pour and move this all around, and the tumbler is going to be moving it as well too. So easy peasy, right? And I mean, this is kind of like an abstract type cup. So we're not going to be trying to get it 100% perfect. And see, since I did the blue underneath, it helps where any areas may not be completely covered. But at the end, you'll see how this spinning on here the whole time will change it as well too. Okay, hold on. Get to the other side again when it comes around. Oopsie, I just got a little bit over there, but that's okay. All right, so we got the sky going. Now I can take off my glove because now we're gonna use popsicle sticks, okay? Because now we're gonna work on the sky, we're gonna work on the waves. So we have our other 2 color cups, okay? And so now we're gonna do the waves right around here, okay? And though it might not look like a wave right now when I'm putting it on, the thing is when it's tumbling, that's when it's going to start giving that look to look more like waves. So you're just gonna take some and you're just gonna go in a drizzle motion as this is turning, okay? Oops, got a little splash up there. Actually, let me fix something real quick. Sometimes I can be messy, but that's okay. We can get it fixed. All right, so if you saw, I got a little blue dark up there. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and try to fix now. And if you notice that it starts to get tacky, then you want to make sure that you add, or that you get your heat gun and then you apply the heat to it. There we go. All right. And that's gonna fix itself even more as it sits there and tumbles. So, back to the waves. All right, so you're just gonna drizzle this and then go like this as well too. And I mean, if you want more blue, you can have more blue. If you want more white, you have more white. I mean, it's really up to you. Usually no cup is gonna look exactly the same because it's all about dripping and drizzling and tumbling. But y'all see how easy this is, right? I did one on a water bottle. I did one on a big cup. And now this for my lovely daughter. You guys are probably looking at this going, well, that does not look like waves, but I promise you it will. Now I like to do blue, then I do white, and then we're gonna be doing the sky as well too. So I like to do the blue, the white, and then the blue again, okay? And I mean, you can always switch it up. If you want to do a darker sky, you can always do that. I went to the store and bought a whole bunch of different kind of blues to figure out which I wanted to use. I don't know what she's going to put on this cup after, but we will see. All right, and as you can already see it all moving and turning. I don't know if you could see it on the video, but you could definitely see it on my end, okay? So now we're gonna do the clouds. The clouds are pretty much just gonna be a dab and that's it, okay? So you're just gonna take your white and just dab some skies around. Oops. Ooh. All right, so we got our clouds, so those are all gonna go. Now what this is gonna do is this is just going to turn for about 4 to 6 hours, okay? And then eventually all this is going to look like a wave, and these white dots are going to look like a sky. So that's it, guys. It's super simple. Then after it's done turning and it looks like the desired beach that you want, go ahead, add your vinyl, and then just do a final coat of epoxy. So I hope this helps y'all make your beach tumblers, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Bye.